Okay, so this video is going to be about where to find beta readers. Now, when I was brand new, I watched a lot of videos on YouTube about beta readers, ARC readers, and where to find them. And there were any number of different places that were suggested, one of which was Goodreads. Now, I also went to blog posts and I compiled a list of at least 20 places that were supposedly had all of these beta readers. So I went to Goodreads, and they still do have a beta reader group that you can join on Goodreads. But when you're about to join, there are several warnings about how you better read the rules and about posting. And it seemed like it was a little too strict for me. And I find that reviews on Goodreads are a little on the harsh side. So I decided to go elsewhere. So I went to these other forums that were on the list that I had gotten in my research, but I never heard back from anyone. And when I did a further investigation, some of the forums had been abandoned, years before. So I was chasing after some older information. So because I wanted to get the book beta read, now I wanted it done right away, I decided to just go to Fiverr.com and pay someone. So that's what I did. And I'm glad I did because I had a great experience then, and I've had several great experiences since then. So in the next part of this video, I'm going to go over to Fiverr and show you the criteria that I use in order to find someone for a reasonable amount of money. So let's get into it now. Okay, so here we are at Fiverr.com. And as soon as you come in, you can start looking for a beta reader. So in the box, it basically asks you what service are you looking for. So you can put beta reader and you'll get lots of people, but I like to go a little bit more specific. So today we'll look for mystery beta reader, okay? And sometimes I look for vampire beta reader, depending upon what type of book I'm writing at the time. So as soon as you do that, you will start pulling up people who have who work on Fiverr, and this is each one of them has a little bit of a portfolio that you can access by clicking on their graphics. They have a little come on right underneath, and this is the most important information. They have how many jobs they've done on Fiverr in parentheses and their average um, grade, their rating. So I look for somebody who has 5.0, which is the top level that you can get on Fiverr, or 4.9. And I try to find someone that has between, say, 7 to 15 customers and they have a good rating. So that's one of the criteria that I look for. The second one that I look for is they have to be an English speaker. So they're not just people from the United States, but there are other countries like South Africa, of course, New Zealand, but also India, because Indians speak English from when they're young. Northern Europeans, like people from Sweden, Norway, those countries, they also learn English, I think, in grade school. And so they would be able to point out any grammatical errors or catch any misspellings, things like that. Okay, that's the other criteria. And then I'm looking for somebody who's going to do a beta read for me between $50 to $80. I will go as high as $100. Now, there are many people here who have high ratings. Let me see if I can find one here. Yeah, this top rated person. She's been chosen because she probably has more than 50 customers. She's up to 95 and she has a 5.0 rating. So she would be, top of the line. So if you click in here, her prices are going to reflect that. Okay. So her basic is $95 for 20,000 words. Now that might be a short story, but it's even a little shy of that. Then the second one up is up to 50,000 words. Okay, that's for a short novel. And then to have the full novel beta read by Ann B, it would be 100,000, and it's $285. Now that's great. And if I was writing a complicated book, maybe I would feel like I had to get the top of the line. But I'm writing, mystery romance, and I basically want to know, does the book make sense? Is it enjoyable? And so I don't need the top of the line reader to accomplish that. So I have a budget of between $50 to $100. So what you will do is you will go through all of these, look at what they're offering, and be sure, especially if they have a very low price, to check the word count. So you'll need to know your own word count. If you are writing in Scrivener, there are ways to find a word count in Scrivener, but if you want to just compile it into Microsoft Word, it takes less than 3 minutes for you to get a full word count. Okay, so be aware that the basic is for a very short, quick job. So you're going to probably be looking at their premium price. Okay. And that's what you're going to do. So you will get 3 or 4 people that you are interested in. And then the final thing that I make sure is that they can use Microsoft Word track changes. Now, another reason that I want them to use track changes is because the first time that I found a beta reader on Fiverr.com, she used the track changes. And what she did was she recorded her whole experience. In other words, she recorded her reaction to any surprises in the story. She recorded her reaction to a plot twist. And I found it so helpful to be almost inside of a reader's head. And this was a first book that she did this with, a first book in a series where I had no clue as to whether the people were going to like the characters or not. And this was so very helpful. So that is why I really want to find somebody who can work with Microsoft track changes so that I can repeat that process, because it was really a winning formula for me. So I hope this video was helpful to you in finding a beta reader. Now, one more word about anybody who is operating on a shoestring, which is what I was operating on when I first started to write novels. It's, $50 to $100 is a lot of money for some people, especially in today's economy. So if you don't have the money, the first thing I'd like to say is that you really want to know if people like the book, if they've, found it helpful, because on top of the beta reader, I also have the book professionally edited, which I pay a lot more money for. And I also have it professionally proofread. So the beta reader is not going to be the only one who reads the book. So for the purposes of a beta reader, you can ask, someone in your family who is retired and has some extra time, somebody in the neighborhood that might need a little favor. You can take them for lunch or, work out some other deal. Now, the other thing I want to mention is that very often people claim that they don't have any money to do book marketing after the book that they have written is now released. But you can become a beta reader on Fiverr, and you can find marketing money by doing that, especially if you are a reader anyway. I mean, I'm a reader anyway, so if I was looking to make extra money, it would be nothing to just say, I want to read, beta read vampire books and charge $80 to $100 to do it. That's a good way to find your marketing money. So in any event, that's all I have to really say about finding beta readers. Fiverr really worked for me, and I just offer my experience for you to take and give it whatever weight you want. So if you learned anything from the video, I hope you'll give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video.